If you've watched the channel at all recently, you know I like my racing games, though granted I never really look at anything from the real classics, let's say. Well, I technically won't be doing that today either, but there is a connection here. In 1986, Outrun was released to arcades around the world, almost immediately winning favour with audiences and being a huge hit. I even saw versions and clones of this thing on those button phones a while back. It was a semi-2D racer where you get a Ferrari Testarossa and a girlfriend, one of the ultimate fantasies for any bedroom dweller. It race across different environments till the timer runs out or you wipe out spectacularly. It's held up pretty well considering its age, but other than that, the most remarkable thing about it is how they obtained the licensing for the car. Well, that in these shifting non-linear environments. Now, I wasn't around for any of this, so I might not be getting the full experience while sitting at home with a modern resolution monitor. However, fear not, there is a solution that doesn't melt your eyes or pocket your change. The remake is called Outrun 2006. Yep, 20 years later they made a console version that you could play at home, giving everything a nice modern tint and shine. Although it was based off the arcade versions of Outrun 2, which came out a little before that, the game still combines all the arcade content with some extra stuff. You get to pick a wide variety of Ferraris and a couple of new modes too. The classic Outrun time checkpoint formula, a time attack, rivals, 15-stage non-stop race for sightseeing and road trip, as well as a very interesting addition called Heart Attack, where you need to try and impress your girlfriends. Yeah, there's actually 3 of them now, and something tells me some of the details in this game wouldn't quite fly today. Oh, Japan. This is in career mode though. You also have the option to just jump straight into the arcade mode if you want to skip all that unlocking and buying crap. I don't have time for this darn career mode. The only buying real ads do is 25 cents into a slot every time my girlfriend gets angry at me for being too slow. It's nothing too bad though. The real waifus in this game is the tasteful selection of classic or soon-to-be classic Ferraris. They even by some miracle included modified versions of them in the game. Sega must have an ace team of lawyers, but never mind all that, let's get into the actual gaming experience itself. If you expect this to be anything like Test Drive Unlimited, which is what I thought before I actually knew anything about it, then it's a lot more akin to something like Ridge Racer, but even more arcadey and chaotic. It is rather seamlessly done though, especially the transitions, and provided you don't play the game like an addict, most of the routes you pick during the runs probably won't be the same, which gives a nice replayability factor and stops it from getting too stale. Combined with the arcadey physics and all sorts of objects in the way, it can get pretty exciting. No small factor of which is the sense of speed. It is done really well, with things whizzing by. Usually a level will take you less than a minute if you don't screw up, and even less than that if you know what you're doing. The levels themselves look really neat, but are all skewed in proportions, which gives them a slightly surreal liminal space feeling. It honestly kind of works in the game's favour though. A good balance of style with enough substance. Your mind will likely be so occupied by the thrill of the drive of the game itself that it'll seem perfectly fine. It's a good example of video game fun factor over visual appearance. Not that the game lacks it, as it's already pretty bright and colourful. Granted, when compared to the psychedelic flashing of the original, it might seem toned down. But I'd rather have this over the face-melting colours of a pixelated 80s CRT monitor. The soundtrack has got a nice bump too, with new high-quality compositions with vocals, some more retro-themed MIDI ones, and for good measure, if you rack up enough Outrun miles, this game's currency, you can get yourself the original soundtrack too, among other things such as paint and tracks. Another bonus is due to the game's simple premise and compact execution, it doesn't add much weight to your hard drive and is something to just pop on if you don't know what to play. If you get bored, that's fine, because you'll probably have cranked in a decent couple rounds already. Perfect for the TikTok attention span. And well, I'm out of steam. Outrun 2006. I wasn't expecting to like it quite as much as I do, but it's genuinely decent, and the arcade looks promising too when compared to some of the sets today, which only include a gas pedal and wheel that basically anyone can be immediately good at. There are plenty of good arcade races out there since its release, and the Outrun series definitely still deserves to be near the top of that list. Perhaps it's overdue for a revival. Or maybe not, estimating one every 20 years, we still have 2 years to go. Oh well, in the meantime I'll just outrun 2006 and chill, and see you later. Thanks for watching.